Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Musa Jallo, and in this video, I'm gonna be reacting to a video by Steven. I'm not even gonna try to say a last name because I'm gonna kill it. And the video is entitled Cape Town is not what you think it is. So with no further delay, let's get into the reaction.
Cape Town is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Very nice city to be in, you see.
It's been rated third in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
This city is known for its amazing landscape. The Lion's Head, the 12th Apostle, Table Mountain, which we are in right now, Chapman Peak Drive, and the real estate here is on another level.
Well, I lived in Joburg for about 2 years and I've traveled all of South Africa. I used to land on Cape Town and I asked myself, what did I give up? I would see the mountain, I would see the ocean, and I realized there's nothing that another province can offer me.
And it's one of those very few African countries where you have all nationalities represented here. We're talking about Americans, Europeans, Asians, and even people from other African countries. They're all moving here.
I decided to move to Cape Town mainly for school and also to venture into real estate. As you know, the Cape Town property market is absolutely booming. We've got the Atlantic Seaboard, one of the most expensive strips in Africa, highest sold houses here. So I decided to move here because there's a lot of opportunity to make money.
Johannesburg is just good for business, but if you're someone who would just like to enjoy and travel, Cape Town is the right place for you.
So Johannesburg is like the business people, that's if you wanna like make business, that's where you should be in Joburg. But then if you want to like chill, have fun, make some money also, then Cape Town it is for you.
So something you're going to find very common right here in Cape Town, and I mean it exists in other cities, but right here the difference is really clear, and that is
Those who are rich are very rich, and those who are poor, it's even worse. You see,
That is like so crazy, but that's true. Because like you can like really see from like the richest part of Cape Town when he was showing before, it looked like any other European city, or even better than most European cities. But then also like on the other end, when you see where people don't have money, also I'm like guessing it's not so good either.
go to places like Kailicha where we
Oh
come
my God, look at the difference.
from. Yeah, things are not right there.
It's like the rich is here and the poor is here, and it's just the rich just keeps going up and the poor just keeps going down.
That is like so crazy. Like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So sad.
Well, I think it's atrocious that you have the
and it
super
says one of the
wealthy.
highest in the world.
Yes,
the rich
you
are
have
super
the
rich.
super wealthy and you've got the super poor. So the people that live below the breadline here is about 40%.
Yeah.
Lives below the breadline. That's called the Cape Flats.
The average household income in major South African cities is estimated to be around 200,000 rands annually. This is significantly higher than the national average, which is at 150,000 rands. But Cape Town seems to be way higher, at 437,000 rands annually. However, there's a large disparity between the wealthiest and the poorest households. The wealthy in Cape Town typically live in more desirable areas in the city, such as the V&A waterfront, Clifton, and Camps Bay. In between those neighborhoods, you can spot the disparity in living standards.
You have the super wealthy from Camps Bay, where you have people that want to have a 300,000 a month kind of lifestyle. If somebody only comes to experience the culture, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to enjoy.
And it's cheap. It is definitely currency-wise cheap.
It's very nice to be here.
Yeah.
Lot of opportunities. Biggest hospital ever, best ever to do the transplant of the heart.
Wow. After living in Cape Town for 1 month, I love it here, and in this video, I would show you the reality of working and living in Cape Town on a realistic budget, and also show you if Cape Town is really what you think it is. Living on a realistic budget in Cape Town can be achievable, although it's an expensive city. The cost of rent would be the most expensive expense, but this entirely depends on what area you want to live in. There are luxurious hotels, boutique guest houses, self-catering apartments, and backpackers hotels starting from $40 up to $500 per night. Prices would vary depending on what time of the year and the type of accommodation you choose. You'd be able to find something that suits your budget. Airbnb is very popular in Cape Town and can provide great accommodation for a reasonable price. This is what $1,500 per month or $50 a day would get you in Cape Town CBD. It's a mezzanine type apartment. It's really small. For the asking price, I think it's okay, right? This section here is just the kitchen, the refrigerator,
microwave, oven, and all of those things. I don't have a burner, so I have an induction hook on here. This is the living room on here, the chair, and then this is where I do most of my work. It's really nice because I have a view of downtown Cape Town. Like, this is like the CBD. You know, if I just go downstairs, I have everything at my beck and call, right? So there's only one bathroom, which is on the down floor, and this is what it looks like, just a standing shower, WC and fancy on here. This staircase here takes me to the room. So I have a queen size bed on here and another view. So down here you have view of the city, and up here you have view of the Table Mountain, which is really nice. I have my wardrobe on here, and then this is the only TV here in the apartment. Really nice, really lovely. But yeah, this is probably what you're going to get for that price point here in the CBD, in the happening place where everything is bustling, that the nightlife.
But like, I think it's renting through Airbnb. Maybe it would have been cheaper if it was like renting directly, but it's also short-term rentals. You know, short-term rentals, they are a little bit higher sometimes since it's just there for 1 month. So maybe that's why the price is like 1.5, because this seems pretty high, you know, like 1.5 if I'm being honest, you know.
Life here is fantastic.
Monthly rental, if you should manage to get a short-term rental at a decent price, I think you could easily get away with furnished for about 10,000 rand.
10,000 rand.
Yeah.
So if you do want to live an affordable lifestyle in Cape Town, I would say stay away from the beach and stay away from the mountains, because those areas are very expensive.
So if you want to stay in a very decent area, well secured and stuff like that, you need to earn roughly 30k and above.
So you're looking at places like Parkland, Somerset, Observatory, Rondebosch. Those areas are more cheaper.
Because the rent there is quite affordable. You can live off 10k, you know. But coming this side towards the waterfront, the Sea Point and Green Point, you have to earn.
Even the restaurants are ridiculously expensive, and the food might not even be that great. Those are areas that tourists go to.
So guys, one of the
That's why whenever I'm traveling, I avoid what the tourists are, you know. Like, I don't, of course I'm part of the tourists, but I avoid what they are, you know.
perks that come with living in a centrally located area is, as soon as you step out of your apartment, you're right in the CBD. There are a lot of people here, there are a lot of shops, there are banks.
The next thing to be worried about is feeding expenses.
So to save costs, I usually make my breakfast, and I might decide to eat out just to get that experience, maybe once a day or once in 2 days.
Feeding in Cape Town can vary in cost depending on where you go to eat and what type of food you're looking for. Fast food restaurants like KFC, McDonald's and Nando's are available at slightly higher prices.
Why would you want to even eat that, you know? Like, I don't get it, you know. Like me, why would you be in Africa, right? With all the good African food we have, you go and buy like Nando's or KFC, you know, or like McDonald's burgers, you know. What? I don't get it, you know, but like, nah, it's crazy.
But there's also plenty of affordable dining and entertainment options for you.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Hey, how you doing, Steve? Welcome to our amazing Airbnb.
So guys, just in case you don't know, this is Mandy.
Yes.
And you guys know the reason why we're at our house today, right?
No, they don't know. Tell them why we're here.
The reason why we came to Mandy Place is,
Yes.
you know, she has a YouTube channel where she teaches how to cook. So we believe she's going to help us save some money by making breakfast and dinner.
Yes.
And then we're going to like walk you guys through the process of like basically how cheap you can make breakfast here in Cape Town so you don't spend so much on food.
Yes.
Because people spend so much money on food.
It is, and also remember, it's not just like food you're paying for, it's
Yeah.
the vibe you're paying for, the drinks you're paying for. So we're gonna minimize that cost with our breakfast that we're making today.
Take a look at her apartment. Like everything is all clean, white, proper. I'm like, yo,
And
this
it's
is
so
like,
white.
yeah, it's so white, right? How much does this cost a day? Okay, see now, she's a baller, right? $120 a day, right here. What?
120. That's a lot. That's a lot. 120.
What's the area called? This is Kloof Street, right? Let me show you guys what the views look outside. So it's a 2-bedroom, living room, open kitchen, all those type fancy shit. One thing I do love about apartments right here in Cape Town is, I mean, you have views, the Table Mountain, and then you have, you know, residential houses on there as well. So the sun rises up from that point. So Mandy's getting like a good, you know, sunrise on here on our apartment. Let's go meet her now. Let's see what we're going to be making. What are we making today?
So we're gonna be making some crispy baked sweet potato and potatoes, and we have some bacon, some ostrich sausages, we have some scrambled eggs, and my favorite is like a saucy peppery thing. You know the Nigerians, they hate pepper. So we're gonna do that.
Yeah. If you're going to make this meal for just one person, how much do you think it's going to cost for just one person one time?
One person, one time. It would definitely be under 100 rand.
Right. If you live in South Africa, let me know if 100 rand is too expensive or too affordable for.
That is like so crazy to think about, you know. So that's why I feel like you going outside, going to eat every day, going to eat like McDonald's, going to eat KFC, where you can like literally use like $6 a day for you to make yourself homemade food, you know. Like that's why it doesn't make no sense to me actually, you know.
Or breakfast, I don't know. You guys tell me, help me.
Yeah, tell us actually.
Right? Do you feel the standard of living in Cape Town is higher or lower compared to Nairobi, or in general it's just high or low?
I'm gonna say it's like almost similar, like, but it's definitely higher. When I go out to eat and I swipe my card, like,
yeah,
that meal I've bought, is it the same similar amount of cost that would cost in Nairobi?
Yeah.
I feel like there's more popping places to eat here. There's more like vibrancy here, and aesthetic requires cash doila.
Yeah, right.
Something I noticed was the tipping culture here. I feel like it's so crazy to me because in Nairobi we don't have a tipping culture. And I noticed if you don't tip, they look at you in a funny way.
Yeah.
And it's all the time. Do you want to tip? Do you want to tip?
I get it, but it's weird to me, you know, like, I feel like tips should never be asked for, you know. If you give somebody a good service, you know, and they enjoy it, if they want to tip, they should tip. But if they don't tip, it should not be on them, you know. Like, it should be on your employer to pay you properly, that you don't need tip to survive, you know. That's what I think, actually, you know.
People move to Cape Town for a variety of reasons. The city is renowned for its beautiful settings and diverse culture, offering many opportunities for career development, as well as a wide range of entertainment options and activities. But the most common reason is the pleasant climate year-round and some of the most stunning beaches in South Africa and in the world. Additionally, the cost of living in Cape Town is relatively affordable compared to other larger cities, making it an attractive option for those seeking to relocate.
Europe have a lot of winter. So they buy property here, and when it's winter in Europe, they're coming to South Africa and they enjoy the sunshine.
The standard of living is quite high.
That's the dream, actually, you know, like, you know, have some business in Africa, you know, and then you have like a home there. It doesn't matter where in Africa, it just have to be somewhere warm a little bit, you know, and there is not somewhere warm, you know, but not so warm, actually, you know. So like, you can come. In the winter, you leave Europe, you go back home and chill, relax in the sun, you know. I feel like that's like the best life for me, you know.
But the Uber is actually affordable. So, I mean, you take what you can get. If you eat for a lot of money, you take Uber for cheap. Unlike in Lagos, where the Uber might cost the same amount of money as the food. So there's some things that are expensive and some things that are cheap.
It's definitely not cheap, but it's affordable. But you need to be very financially secure to stay here.
I think it's not as expensive as compared, let's say, to Nairobi where I live. Nairobi is more expensive, which is a bit crazy to me.
That is like so crazy, but I really want to go to Nairobi also, you know. My dream is to visit like every African countries from North Africa all the way down to South Africa, you know. That is like so crazy, you know, like.
I feel like I'd live here better than back home.
Do you feel you can move to Cape Town?
Yes, I feel like I can move to Cape Town.
You can live here, right?
Yes.
Do you feel ever?
Yes, 100%. Oh God, the weather here is so fantastic.
Do you feel you can move to Cape Town?
No, I'd come here to visit and own a business. I could see myself opening up a Swahili restaurant here because I don't feel like there's Swahili food here.
Okay.
So yeah, I could see him.
You can literally settle anywhere, but of anywhere in the world, I would say Cape Town is the best place to settle.
So why I'm not
we
gonna?
have 70% summer.
But like, if you compare Cape Town to like other countries like in West Africa, you know, like weather-wise, I think it's actually better, you know. Like for example, where I'm from, like the whole year is like between like 20 degrees and 30 degrees, you know, like the whole freaking year, you know. Problem with like living in South Africa, I feel like South Africa is like so far away from everything, you know. Imagine if you're in South Africa, you want to go to the US, you know. That's like so far away to fly, you know. If you want to go to like Dubai, that's like so far away. If you want to come to Norway, that's like really so far away also, you know. But if you live in somewhere like maybe somewhere in East Africa, like Nairobi, for example, you know, Nairobi is like closer to the Middle East. It's like closer to Europe, you know. It's not so far from like most places. it's a bit far from America, you know, but yes, but it's not as far as Cape Town, you know. But if you live in West Africa also, you might be close, you are close to Europe also. But then also you are like closer to go to like the US, Canada, and South America, you know. But my problem is like South Africa is like so far away, you know. That's why for me, as much as I like Australia, right, I might never live there because it is too far away, you know.
Around
50 in age and in health, you're still quite young, but you can't make a living in London. So what they do is they take their pension money and come and stay in South Africa, and they can be retired at that age, which you can't do in any foreign country.
For myself, I would say Cape Town is a safe and nice. Also, I had to study initially earlier on in my life, so it's a nice place where you can study in a safe environment and establish your career. Because once you're established, then you can go anywhere else in the world. For myself, that was the initial reason.
The most convenient and safest way to move around Cape Town is by cabs.
Because it takes you straight to your destination.
There's Uber and Bolt. Trips usually begin at around 40 rands per ride.
I like to use InDriver because I'm able to adjust the rate that I want to pay. Uber is the most common, however Uber is also expensive.
Yeah.
And then public transport is a no-go, I would say, for a foreigner. The trains are not safe. And the trains are not reliable. There's very few white people.
That is like so crazy though, like that, like the public transport really sucks. Okay, maybe that's where like maybe if I'm comparing Cape Town to like maybe Oslo or Berlin, then that's what for me I'll feel like that's like one big disadvantage they will have, you know, because like public transport in like most European cities is like really so amazing, you know, like you don't really have to drive like in like major cities, you know.
People that takes public transport. It's 98% of the people that does take public transport are local people of color.
So the people that use lift clubs as well. So like we driving now, so there'll be a buddy, one guy with a car, and then we all just go with him, and then we'll just give him petrol for the end of the week.
Yeah.
So that's that way of traveling as well when you are working together with someone.
Or someone, right?
But yeah, other than that, it's easy to get around. There's train stations, so easy to get around in Cape Town.
Many of the major tourist attractions in Cape Town can be accessed by foot or bike if you live in a centrally located area, just like I did.
Like literally, we're walking to V&A. I usually walk to go get my food. Just here, like there are pharmacies, restaurant. You can get groceries on there as well. The banks. There's even a bus station and a train station over there. All right. Mac and Bean is here for breakfast. In Nigeria, we call this a traffic light. What do you guys call it?
Oh, we call it a robot.
What?
I don't know why you call it.
What is a robot?
Well, so
what is a robot?
A robot is like a traffic light, but you just
okay, but you just said traffic light, so it should be a traffic light, not a robot. Or
it is a robot, you know, like I don't get the logic, but yeah.
A traffic, oh whatever. What is this?
Okay, so you press this if you want to cross the road,
yeah,
and it will literally turn green, and then you can just cross.
So we'll try that now.
Yep.
Turn green. All right.
The crime rate in South Africa is generally lower than other major South African cities. However, it's still higher than most cities in the world.
So I chose Cape Town because it's very safe here compared to the other cities.
Violent crimes is particularly high in certain areas. While tourism and business travelers are not usually the target, it is still important to remain vigilant.
But it's also very safe, which is what's nice.
When it comes to safety, I feel like that's one thing I don't really worry about, because I know, like, for example, even in Oslo, you know, it is one of the safest cities in the world, you know, but still it's not everything I will do in Oslo. It's not everywhere I will go in Oslo, you know. New York City for me is like one of the most amazing cities in the world, but it's not everywhere you can go in New York City also, you know. It's not everything you can do in New York City, you know. So you just have to be mindful of the environment. I feel like that is just common sense, you know. And I don't think like that should stop you from going to Cape Town because it's not safe, you know.
Let's just say in Joburg, the footage would have cut halfway.
So one thing you're going to find very common right here in Cape Town CBD is a lot of like security personnel just standing at every corner.
But generally, Cape Town is relatively safe.
Our border is very open for foreigners, especially on the African continent. I would like to encourage Africans to come and see Cape Town. Yes, we have a lot of influx of tourists, but it's mostly foreigners. And the Africans that are coming, they are wanting to seek a different quality of life.
Yeah.
But I've experienced a lot of a lot of refugees, a lot of Africans that's been in the country for 10 years, and they make their own living. They are a lot more savvy than the locals. For me, that is sad because to a certain extent we've been conditioned to behave in a certain way.
That is like so true, like whenever somebody have the mind to like wake up and leave their country and go to another country, like it's like something happened to your brain. It's like you become like so much more savvy, because like trust me, like nobody want to leave their home country and go and sit in a foreign country and be a foreigner, so like people do that because of their economical situation, so that's why I feel like whenever foreigners travel, they really do so well, like the lady said, like she feel like the foreigners when it comes to South Africa, they are more savvy when it comes to businesses than the locals, because the locals, they have been conditioned to act in a certain way, I feel like that is true everywhere, because like even in my country, right, like the locals, I feel like sometimes if you are there, you don't see the opportunity you have, but then when somebody come from outside, they will see the opportunity you have, but you're not taking advantage of, so that's why I feel like people should like always move around, go learn new things, come back home, invest, and do other stuff like that,
But if you want to, you can sustain yourself.
Cape Town is a popular tourist destination and offers a wide range of attractions, activities and events, from safaris to hike up the Table Mountain to beautiful beaches and world-class restaurants. There's something for everyone. There's also a vibrant culture and nightlife. This city is known for its warm hospitality and friendly locals, making it an ideal destination for travelers of all age. In the next episode,
this video right here just helped me to solidify like Cape Town is like a really good city, but like the only thing that was a little bit sad for me to see is like how unequal the city is, I know there is inequality in South Africa, I know like South Africa is probably one of the most unequal country in the world, but I didn't expect to see such a big difference like in the township and like in area like Camp Bay, like I thought there was going to be some difference, but I didn't expect the difference to be that big, But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, remember to like us, comment down below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.